everyone. Today I'm going to show you a video on chess.com. We're not going to be playing any games. I know if you play chess, it must be very fun for you guys to play a game, but I am going to be logging into my account. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you some good moves in chess. So let's get started. So we're gonna analyze games, but today I'm gonna be showing you some good opening moves that you should try. So if you're white, you should start by playing e4. Why should you play this move? It's because the e4 controls f5, the f5 square, and so is the d5 square. Remember, if you do play chess, a pawn only moves forward and captures diagonally, and it can't capture forward. If you're black, play the same move. But if white comes, and again, it does the same thing. But what if we move the knight to f3? Well, if we move the knight to f3, this is a good move because it is attacking black's pawn. Should black defender play the same move as white? Well, let's see what happens if black plays the same moves. So black now plays knight to f6, as you can see, and also attacks white's pawn. But now white captures black's pawn. As you saw, white captures the pawn. But what if black captures the pawn? Well, since he captured with knight takes e4, the queen on d2 d1. Now you might think, hey, it's not good to bring your queen out in the beginning of the game. Well, that's fine. In this case, it is a good reason. That's why we bring our queen to e2. We are attacking the knight on e4. Now, if black tries to play the same move as white, queen e7, and I think you know what white is going to do. Capture black's knight, but now if black tries to capture, well, the queen is going to capture it back. So let's go back. So white made the good move. Now it's black to move. Black shouldn't play knight to f6. That's why black should make a better move, such as knight to c. But what is the better move? Knight to c6 or d6? Well, we have two options to defend the pawn. But what if we play d6? Well, this is defending the pawn, but it also blocks black's bishop from coming out into the action. This means black's bishop will have to come here and then move here, not there, like right here or something. That means that black's bishop will have trouble coming into the game if black plays d6. That's why black should make the better move, knight to c6. This blocks nothing in the way. And this pawn on c7, don't worry, it's not really doing anything right now. So this is a better move. And of course, if white comes and captures like the last time, then black will just gain more material or more points. So let's see what white can do now. White has a great, let's move the bishop next, which I think you should know. But we have two good moves here, bishop c4 and bishop b4. Let's try bishop b4 first. Bishop b4 is a better move than bishop c4. Even though bishop c4 does attack f7, bishop b5 puts a little bit more pressure on the knight on c6. But white should not capture this knight because this knight is not fully developed. As you know, if you do play chess, let me tell you something about it if you don't know. So, whenever you have your piece developed, for example, this bishop on b5, you shouldn't capture a piece that is undeveloped or still developing. For example, this knight on c6. Otherwise, let's see what happens if white does capture the knight. Hold on, it's black's turn to move. So if white does capture the knight, black could either capture with this pawn on d6 or this pawn on b6. On b7. But black should rather capture with the pawn on d7. So this move is also good. But let's try bishop to c4. Bishop c4 is also a very strong move. It's putting pressure on f7, which the only defender is the king on e8 for black. Let's go with this move. Black can play the same move. Now, since there's no knight here on c3, black should not just play a wasting move such as bishop to b4, because if black does, white can simply just move a pawn forward, which makes the bishop move back, and black should not move his bishop to a5. Otherwise, black will have to deal with the bishop again by white moving his pawn to b4. So black should play a move like bishop to c5. Bishop to c5, just like white did, because it also attacks f2, just like for white it attacks f7. So white is attacking f7 and black is attacking f2, which the only defenders of those two squares of f2 and f7 are the kings. Now, what should be the good move for white? Well, for white, he should not just move his king up here or here, but now, before we move this knight on b1, before we get into the game, let's castle our king. Now this gives some protection to the king, because this bishop attacking f7, now it not only has protection of the king, but it also has protection of the rook. Black should do the same thing, but oh wait, there is a knight in the way. And as you can see, the computer is not going to let me move over to this square g8 because the knight is in the way. So black should now black should play knight to f6. It wasn't good at the beginning. Now we ask this question: why is it okay to play knight to f6 now rather than playing it at the beginning of the game after white played knight to f3? It's because that more of the pieces are developed, so that it's because that white does not have a protector for e4 and black does. So now it's a safer move to play rather than doing it in the beginning of the game. White should now play again, like we said last time. What should white play? He could now play d3 because now there's no bishop in the way now. There's no bishop on f1 anymore. The rook has taken its place. So this also opens up a line for the bishop to come to g5, attacking the knight. But this is protecting. And also, if the bishop does move to g5 after this pawn has moved, for example, to d3, this bishop here is skewering the queen. This knight is pinned. Well, it's not pinned, but if the knight moves anywhere, then the bishop will just capture the queen. Now, what if white wants to play knight to c3? This is also a good move because it also develops the knight. So let's play knight to c3. But before we do play knight to c3, why is it not good for the pawn on d2? Why is it not good to play d4? Yes, I know the knight is protecting, and also the queen. But let's see what happens. Black will capture the pawn. White will capture with the knight. Black will capture with the bishop or the other. But then if white captures with the queen, this is also good too. But white should not bring his queen out too early. Now, why was it okay for white to bring it out when black tried to copy white? But it's not good right now. it's not good right now. It's because more of black's pieces are developed. That's why we'll play a different move. For example, knight to c3. This is also part 1 of the series. So now, what should black play? Well, this bishop on c8, it looks like it's blocked, but also we can castle. We could also castle. First, black should castle. What should white play now? Well, now white could play d3. Again, adding another protection to the pawn on e4, and also opening up lines for the white bishop on c1. So black should play the same move too. Now he opens up a line for the bishop too. White goes here, and black does the same thing as white. Now, what should white play? Well, in this case, white could attack the black bishop with h3. We will discuss all of these in our next game. I will see you guys later. Actually, hold on. There's no part 1. Don't listen to the part where it said part 1. So this is pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye, bye, bye.